It is Judas Priest right here on your classic metal show with Out in the Cold. And Chris, I don't know what it's like in Ohio, but it's been getting cold here in northwest Indiana.
I'm going to be honest. I haven't been outside to know.
You've been kind of like in your own prison there.
Dude, it really has been. I mean, aside from the wedding, I'm trying to think if I left the house at all this week. I really don't think I did. Not one time.
So you basically were trapped indoors working at your computer or sleeping or watching TV.
No, well, or other things, but partying. But yeah, no, I don't think I left the house even to check mail or anything this whole week.
Right. But you are going to make the trip over to your most dreaded nemesis of a town, Pittsburgh.
I am. I'm going to Pittsburgh on Saturday, or probably a couple of days earlier.
Now, I didn't recognize the name of this venue that Judas Priest is playing at. What is this place? Where is this?
I don't even know. What's the name of it?
I got to look it up.
I don't know. Dude.
I was looking at the dates because, I missed the date that was in Hammond, a couple weeks ago. And I was hoping that they might be playing, close by, because I would have loved to see the show, but they're not playing anywhere near me now.
Right.
And you're going to the show next week.
Yep. I'm going to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh. So I'm praying the Browns win tomorrow.
Well, you know what? I did read some stuff about that, and the analysts, for whatever that's worth, they're thinking Cleveland win tomorrow.
Yeah, well, that just almost guarantees a loss. When the analysts get on the side of Cleveland, it usually means a 30-point loss.
So you're thinking that there's like some bad voodoo there.
I do think that.
Well, we'll see. I'm going to be watching the WYSIWYG tomorrow.
Oh, look, it's Peterson Sports Center. I have no idea where that is.
Never heard of it either.
Me either.
So I don't know. I mean, I love Pittsburgh, you know that, but I don't know anything about the Peterson Sports Center.
Probably used to have a different name.
I'm sure it did. It's like the Console Energy Arena or something like that, where the Penguins play.
The Altar Bar.
Something like that. I don't know. Who knows?
The place holds like 200.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? But you're going to see Judas Priest, and I'm very jealous. I really wished I could have seen the show. I enjoy Priest, and I know that they're not going to be around forever.
Nope. That's why I'm going. Actually, the reason I'm going is because Ed wanted to see Steel Panther.
Well, why would you deny Ed the your company, especially since that guy's hooked you up?
Yeah, no shit. Hey, he wants me to come. I'm coming.
Right.
So, yeah, we hopefully have some meetings this week for the museum as well. So
sure,
might be business, Chris, for a couple of days.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Yeah, whatever it takes.
If you can top it off with some Priest and Steel Panther, it's all good.
That's right.
Yeah. So anyway, I asked our good friend our good friend Nathan from Kentucky to call in.
All right.
Because he's kind of covered the Priest show last week.
Okay.
So he's on the phone with us. What's going on, Nathan?
This isn't Nathan. This is Tim James.
Oh, Tim.
Well, it was a Priest show, right? So it's a fag joke, I guess. So there you go. So
right.
All right, leave the jokes to us, Nathan.
Yeah. Good idea.
Well, you went now. Where did they perform last week? What was the name of that festival or whatever it is that you were at?
Yeah, it was in Louisville, Kentucky. It was called Louder Than Life. It was Saturday and Sunday up there.
And where did they hold this?
It was at a place called Champions Park in Louisville.
Okay.
It's actually it's an old abandoned golf course they turned into a park. So it was the first ever time they'd had this thing, and it was interesting. It was a pretty good time.
Was there a good turnout for this?
Yeah, between 20 to 30,000 both days.
20 to 30,000, really?
Yeah, there were a ton of people there. I was surprised.
Now, what part of the city is this in? Because I used to live on the south end of Louisville for a couple years.
It's right up by River Road, right on the river. So.
Okay, so
kind
it's
kind of right in the middle of the city there.
I gotcha. So how did you get involved with this?
Well, I mean, my my actual real job is I work for a newspaper, so I called these people up and got a hold of the publicist, and I said, hey, can I, if I give you a little pub, would that be cool? And so they put me in touch with the promoter. I did a little story for him, got the word out, and then I was like, hey, by the way, now that I've given you a little pub, any chance I can get some media availability? And he said, sure.
So you didn't approach it with, hey, I'm a sports writer for a small town newspaper. Could you hook me up with some Priest tickets?
No, I mean, I wanted to give them some pub,
No, I'm just teasing you, man.
Make it somewhat legit, I mean, that's what I do. I do write about sports, but I wanted to make it somewhat legit.
Sure.
Give them some pub for their thing. So.
Right. That's what you need to do, Chris. Hey, I'm a journalist for national paper in the Cleveland area. Hook me up, will you, pals?
You know what, dude? The difference is, though, I don't even really want to go most of it.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand.
I'm going to Alter Bridge on Wednesday.
Right.
Stephanie with her obsession with Miles Kennedy. I made that happen where she's going to get to meet Miles Kennedy.
Now she's going to be wearing double line panties because I'm sure she's going to be dripping by the time she meets him. Right?
She might be. I mean, she might be moist.
Right.
But I'm like, I guess I have to go with her.
So are you going to bring a spatula to get her off the seat?
Look, she can fuck Miles for all I care. Yeah. It's not my job to police that.
So you just basically, you just kind of use the armrest of the chair and grab her arm and
yeah, exactly.
Pop her off the chair.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, but this is where I'm at right now. The meet and greet for that show is before the show, before Alter Bridge plays, and fucking Glenn Hughes is the opener. The California Breed.
Don't you find that weird that Glenn Hughes is opening for Alter Bridge?
It is kind of odd, but I'm totally like, if I have to miss Glenn Hughes to fucking stand there and take a dumb picture with Alter Bridge, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah, I know you're a Glenn Hughes fan.
I am, and I mean, I like Alter Bridge too, and I've known Miles for a lot of years and whatever. And it's like, big deal. Okay, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you again.
It's like, hey, Stephanie, stand in this line. I'm going out front to watch Glenn Hughes.
I might do that.
He's
honestly,
like a legend and shit. He was like in Purple way back in the 70s, like when you were born.
There's a real chance that I'm going to get her in, and then I'm out. If the times are even going to remotely cross, I have zero interest in meeting anybody. I want to see fucking California Breed.
Sure.
So we'll see. But yeah, I'm to answer your question, that'll never happen with me. I almost never ask for passes anymore. I just don't care.
Yeah, been there and done that, right?
Too many times.
Yeah, I'm with you, dude. I'm in the same boat anymore. I'm just like, I'm so not impressed with meeting anybody anymore.
I mean, let's face it. The show ends. You stand around for at least a fucking hour, maybe an hour and a half. Then they herd you in like cattle. Shake a hand, take a picture. You're fucking great, and get out. It's like, gives a fuck.
Well, it only matters if it's somebody that you really want to meet.
Yeah, I mean, the first time I met some of my heroes, it did matter.
Yeah.
But you know what? Now, where we talk to them on the phone.
Right.
And we do, interviews where we can actually ask the questions we really want to, and we can stretch out for 20, 30 minutes at a hit. I really have no interest in the fucking kiss their dick and fucking move away fucking meetings.
And I will be totally honest with you. I agree with that. Everybody that I've ever wanted to meet in rock and roll or whatever, I've met. I've already met them.
I have two left on my list: Elton John and Neil Diamond, and I know neither are classic metal. But
now those are some pretty high, lofty goals right there.
Or they're the only two I haven't met, though.
Sure. I mean, I understand that, but both of those are at this point, even at their advanced age.
Yeah, they'll be tough.
They're still pretty untouchable.
Yeah, they'll be tough to get. But I mean, everybody from Metallica and all the Pantera guys and Anthrax and Testament and blah blah. Pick a band. Even the other shit, Shania Twain and Garth Brooks and, basically anybody that I've ever wanted to meet, I've met.
Sure.
So
I got very fortunate back in 90, I think it was like 91.
Right.
A guy who's still fairly untouchable as far as media or meet and greet is concerned is John Mellencamp.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't like people.
Yeah, and I had the good fortune of a brother-in-law who was working for Camelot Music at the time.
Okay.
Who got us backstage at the Richfield Coliseum.
Okay.
For the Whenever We Wanted tour, and I got to actually meet and hang out and talk with John Mellencamp for about 10 minutes.
Wow.
And got a picture and got an autograph. Actually, I got a poster framed that he autographed for me.
But now if he was playing there, would you hang around for a meet and greet?
No, but I would like to go see the show.
Sure.
But
see, that's where I am now too, is you know what? I'd rather see the show, be out at 11 o'clock and go do something rather than stand around till 12:30 for the fucking privilege of a fucking fist bump and a picture.
Right.
Gives a shit.
Right. All right, Nathan. Well, you got to go to the show, and you obviously took some photos, which you shared in the CMS chat room. Where did you meet everybody in the band, or did you hang out, or what happened?
No, I basically just went to take pictures. I mean, it was a photo pass, so that got me right down on the front to take some photos. That's basically all. I wasn't gonna hang around and do all that crap and everything. So
you didn't get to meet anybody. You didn't get to meet anybody.
I probably could have gone back there and did that. I had some friends there, so the typical media thing is you get 3 songs to shoot up front. So you shoot, and I'd go back and hang out with my friends out in the crowd. So, which is kind of a cool thing to get a bunch of free, get a bunch of pictures and hang out, and I got in free. So,
but you did wear the CMS shirt, though. I saw that.
Yes, I was sporting the Rex there.
And did anybody go, dude, I listened to that fucking show, or they go, what the hell is that?
There were a lot of stoned people there, so they probably couldn't even see what it was. So. the smell of marijuana was very thick in the air.
Really?
For 2 straight days, yes.
So the Louisville Tonians are stoners, huh?
I guess they must grow that shit around there somewhere or something. But yeah, there was.
It's grown it's grown in horse shit from the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, I guess so. Over Churchill Downs or something, they must have some of it out back or something. But yeah, there was a lot of that going around. So it was fun. It was a very weird bill, and you guys can probably, if you Google it, you can pull it up and look at it and see all the bands. There was like 30 plus bands, and it was very, very eclectic. And there was really only about 4 or 5 that I really wanted to see. But it was interesting. It was a lot of fun.
Well,
Priest was great. I mean, I thought about what, Neeley, I thought about what you talked about with Megadeth, about Chris Broderick, and how I really think that Richie Faulkner has been like the Broderick to Megadeth. I mean, Richie really has brought a new energy to that band. And he's like the guy out front doing a lot of the solos. He's interacting with the crowd, and he's like, he just has really energized that band.
You want to hear the list of bands?
Yeah, go ahead. Who was there?
All right, this will take a minute, but there's like 30.
30 bands. Now, was this a one-day thing?
2 days.
2 days. Okay, so basically 15 bands a day.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, here you go. Here's your list. Korn, Papa Roach, Limp Bizkit, A Day to Remember, Stone Temple Pilots, Kid Rock, Bring Me the Horizon, Five Finger Death Punch, Judas Priest, Buck Cherry, Theory of a Dead Man, Fuel, Mastodon, Alter Bridge, Volbeat, Chiodos, Miss May I. Oof, they're horrible. Memphis May, Fire, Thousand Foot Crutch, Motionless in White, Nonpoint, Steel Panther, Hell Yeah, Pop Evil, Flaw, Chester Bennington from Linkin Park, Otherwise, Avatar, Monster Truck, Butcher Babies, Nothing More, Wilson, Crowbot, Islander, and Memphis Mayfire. Wow, that is a shit fest.
Wow. Now, what is the appeal of Butcher Babies?
Tits.
Is that what it is?
Yep, those girls are hot as fuck.
Okay.
and they have great tits. I'll put a picture of me with them right on the website.
It's not about the music; it's about the tits.
I couldn't tell you what they even sound like.
Well, that's why I was asking. What is the appeal of Butcher Baby?
They look good, man.
Well, okay, so it's all image.
It's
not about the music or the tunes or anything. It's about the image.
Let me tell you, the picture I'm about to put up right now. This girl smelled so good. Holy shit, she was fucking hot.
You didn't go, I can smell your cunt.
I didn't say that, but I was thinking it. I was thinking, and believe me, this was well past 1 in the afternoon on a meeting schedule. So
that's going to live with you forever, right?
I got some wafting with that one.
It's past 1. Your cunt must be right.
Dude, every time I look at 1 o'clock and my phone rings, I'm like, what if this bitch's pussy stinks? Fucking Tommy ruined it for me.
That's so fucking funny. Now, Nathan, you were texting me about being at your kid's soccer game and listening to the CMS or listening to the Filth Radio and just dying laughing.
God. Yeah, the one about Cheetos or something today. I was listening to that, and he was like, "Oh my God!" Like I got all these like dance moms around me, and I'm like, "Man, if they only knew what I was listening to right now, they would probably rise up and stone me or something and throw me out of here." But yeah, that guy is just. I don't even know what to say. How do you even describe that guy? I mean, he's totally demented.
Well,
in a good way, you know.
Yeah, he's definitely different. But getting back to Priest, though, what was the highlight for you as far as their set list was concerned?
I thought it was. I got to go down in front for the third and the fourth song, which were "Devil's Child" and "Victim of Changes." And so when they busted into "Victim of Changes," I was like, "Oh, fuck yeah," you know. And but the rest of it was. It was all good, but I mean that was pretty cool, old school, you know, for them to bust that out. And they did like Turbo Lover and all the Metal Gods and all the ones you'd expect. That was kind of the one that surprised me a little bit. Maybe that one and Devil's Child.
Now, how did Halford sound? Did he sound good, and did he move around the stage at all?
Yeah, I mean, he sounded pretty good. I mean, he's still kind of a little bit robotic up there, and he would often go off. You know, he usually goes off to the left, and you know, behind the little curtain back there. But yeah, he seemed pretty good. He seemed to be in pretty good, you know, and had pretty good health. I know he's had some health issues, and I know he was had a hip or back or whatever surgery a while back. But looks pretty good. I mean, you look at the pictures up close. You know, when I took the pictures and I went back and looked at it, and looked at it, like, wow, damn, he looks old. But like you said when I was texting you, like, man, he's like 80. How do you expect him to look like?
Right.
But no, he sounded good, and I think it's it was a really weird setup because they had kind of it was just really weird because they basically have two stages right there together. And so basically the whole idea is you go back and forth and there's no wait time. And so when you got into the night part of it, you had like Limp Bizkit, and then Stone Temple Pilots, and then Korn, and then Priest. And so, not shockingly, a lot of the younger folks left, you know, because it was like, oh, it's those old guys from Judas Priest. So it was just kind of an odd mix of things to have that kind of dynamic of it, but a lot of people hung around, and it was a lot of the old guys, I guess,
But to the old guys,
I'm curious, Nathan, and you may not even like these guys to have a real opinion, but how was Limp Bizkit? You know what? I never liked those fucking guys, but it was funny because when I talked to the promoter for the preview story that I did. You know, I went through and was talking to him about some of the bands and stuff, and he told me, he said, you'd be surprised, man. He said, Limp Bizkit brings it, and people love it. And that, trust me, they probably got a better reaction from the crowd than anybody. They had 20,000 people jumping around and going nuts. Not me, but, you know, but I mean, the reaction they got was probably better than anybody. It was amazing. I don't doubt it. They've always been good live. I've always liked them.
And And it's weird because they have a catalog of tunes. You know, that even I know those tunes, even though I don't like them. You know those songs. And they didn't play a lot of them. Like at one point they busted into Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses.
Nice.
And then they busted into Killing in the Name of by Rage. And it was like, what the hell? They give you like 45 minutes and you play 2 cover songs.
Right.
But the crowd loved it. And then, freaking, what's his name, Durst is out there in the crowd, running around just acting like an idiot. And people loved it. I mean, it was the reaction. They got probably a better reaction than anybody.
Nice.
Which was surprising to me, but, but it was cool. I basically wanted to see only a handful of bands. I guess he's Steel Panther and Priest, and then Buck Cherry was on Sunday afternoons. So I saw them. So.
Well, how was Buck Cherry? Were they any good live?
Well, like you guys talk about, Josh Todd is really not like crooner or something. I mean, he's not the greatest vocalist in the world, but they put on a good show. They did play 3 songs off of the infamous Fuck EP, which I know Chris loves, but you don't particularly care so much for. But let me tell you something. We got to see some titties during Steel Panther, but man, we saw a ton of titties when they played Crazy Bitch. When they played Crazy Bitch, that crowd went nuts, and those girls started taking off their shirts all over the place.
I find that funny that as a guy, you can't ever say crazy bitch to a chick without her hauling off and smacking you. But then a band is out there singing crazy bitch, and they pull their tits out.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
It doesn't make any sense.
Because they are crazy bitches, man. Come on.
Well, you know that. I know that. Chris knows that.
They don't want to admit that. But yeah.
I know, but
the song is about other chicks, not them.
Oh yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. It's just stupid. Chicks are dumb.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anything else, Nathan?
No, it was a pretty good time. I mean, it was kind of odd to see Chester Bennington or Benningfield or whatever the hell his name is playing with STP, but
how was that?
It was all right.
Was that good? I'm a Stone Temple Pilots fan. Is that any good or no?
It was all right. I mean, he obviously doesn't sound exactly like Weiland, but he sounds close enough that it's okay. It
doesn't sound like Linkin Park fronting the band?
No, not really. I mean, it sounds... it doesn't sound the same, but it sounds close enough. I mean, it's... it was, like I said, it was weird because they were in between Limp Bizkit and Korn. And so you had Limp Bizkit where everybody's jumping around and screaming, and then they come out. And it was like a total change of pace, and so it was kind of weird timing. But, I mean, I wasn't ever a huge STP fan, but they're one of those bands that all those songs. They're radio songs, you know them all. So you go from all the crowd jumping around and screaming to everybody was kind of singing along with him. But yeah, it wasn't bad. I mean, it was, obviously, I guess they're not bringing Weiland back at this point. So
no,
I guess they got to do something else. And I guess the other 3 guys are still the original guys, right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I know the drummer looked like...
What about Volbeat? Did you see them or no?
I couldn't hang around Sunday night to see those. I had to get back for work and stuff. That's the one that I missed. I was really disappointed in was Volbeat. And Five Finger went on Sunday night too, but I really don't know much about those guys. So.
Yeah, they both.
Kid Rock was the headline on Sunday, so.
I'd have rolled. I would have rolled too.
Yeah, well, you know what? Actually, the one band that surprised me, and I think you guys have played them a little bit, but maybe not a whole lot. But I've never seen them live. But Hell Yeah came out and just tore the freaking place off. They were like 1 o'clock on Sunday afternoon, and they were amazing. I mean, it's fast, it's heavy, it's loud, and that singer he's amazing, and so. That was, I really didn't know much of their tunes or whatever, but that was pretty good.
I'll have to check them out then, because I hate their records. I give their records a listen because Vinnie Paul's in the band, and I was a Mudvayne fan too, and I mean, it's a couple guys from Mudvayne, but I haven't dug anything that they've done on record anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I listened to a little bit of it on Spotify last week just before I went up there just to kind of get a feel for it. But they came out, and that singer's got his red hair, and he's got these crazy eyes, and he gets out there and just screams, and I mean, it was amazing. And of course, it's really odd. Well, not really odd, but I guess it's a smart move for them. Is that they put Vinny like right up front, where most bands kind of bury the drummer in the back.
Sure.
They put him right up front. So it's kind of like, hey, this is the dude from Pantera. Remember him, right?
Right.
So
nice.
They try to put him up there as like it's kind of weird to see the drummer be kind of the front man of the band. I guess like Bonham back in the '80s. I guess
Right. Definitely.
All right, man.
Go see Priest, man. You'll enjoy it. It was pretty good. Like I said, it was a good show, and like I said, we got a short set because it was a festival type thing, so we only played about 55, 60 minutes. So you'll get a longer set than I did. So I heard they've been playing Beyond the Realms of Death and some tunes like that too. So that would be pretty cool.
Cool.
All right, man. Well, thanks for the input.
All right, hail and kill. Fuck you, pal.
See, there's a guy who knows how to end a phone call.
In, out, goodbye.
Right.